Before you even throw the punches, your stance must be right as far as your pivot. Start off with your pivot, you get on your pivot, and it's light. The jab goes like this. This is exactly how the jab goes. Jab. Boom, boom. Back with the jab. Down to the body.
Jab overhand. Again. Again. Nope. Right roll.
Anyway, to me, it's a win-win. But I'm in a no-win because if I knock him out fast in the first round, they're gonna be like, oh man, this wasn't worth it. If I let it go a few rounds and drag it out, they're gonna be like, oh man.
The world is still shaking from the news. Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2 is official. And while most 49-year-olds are slowing down, Floyd Money Mayweather just went back to the lab. This is your first look at the king of boxing back in camp, and he looks sharper than ever.
It should have happened a long time ago, obviously. I don't mind it because it'll be entertaining. And I'm curious to see how Mayweather will react, you know, to Pacquiao's style again, you know. I mean, Mayweather's Mayweather. He has a great style, great defense. Probably the same thing will happen again, but it'll be entertaining. I wouldn't mind watching it again, but again, it should have happened a long time ago. And this is exactly what I tell fighters. You have to seize the opportunity at the moment when it's hot, when people are talking about it. Like Pacquiao Mayweather, should have fought several months after they had their first fight. You know, imagine how big that would have been. So I don't know how big it'll be, them fighting now, but I think I would watch it just to be entertained. You know, they're both two of the best elite fighters on the planet, so you got to give them their props.
Even boxing legend Oscar De La Hoya is weighing in, questioning if Floyd's masterclass defense can still hold up against Pacquiao's relentless style after all these years.
Both of these guys are broke. I mean, the reporting on Floyd recently has been pretty unambiguous. He is in a lot of debt, and despite the fact that he made over $1 billion during the course of his career, and by the way, did that without sponsors, by and large, without sponsors, is a remarkable achievement. I don't know what he's done with his money, but he doesn't have much more of it. He's now literally doing, I've seen liquor sales, and he's a known teetotaler, which is kind of a strange turn unless you recognize the guy has money issues. The same is true for Pacquiao. Pacquiao had money issues during the latter portion, frankly, of his active run, where he had tax problems, and so where he was competing was, at certain points, he would go to places that had like low tax thresholds just so he could hold on to more of his purse. So his situation is certainly one of these as well. These guys need money, and I don't know what the purse is going to be for Netflix. I suspect it will be substantial, but let's just be honest about it. Reason number one, they're broke.
Luke Thomas doesn't hold back here, suggesting that despite the career earnings, the real reason both legends are back in the ring is a desperate need for one last massive payday.
Reason number two, to me, I don't have much to say on this because I have not figured it out, but there's just a lot of nostalgia fights happening. As you'll note, Netflix is going to do in May a bit of a nostalgia fight with Ronda Rousey taking on Gina Carano in an MMA bout. And then now you're going to get this in September in the Sphere in Las Vegas with Mayweather and Pacquiao. It's like, I can't quite put my finger on it, y'all, and I don't know what the answer is. Is it the amount and the glut of content? Is it the way in which all media companies and content providers and even sports orgs, to an extent, they just want to give you the maximum amount of content to keep you on their platforms, and so as a consequence everything feels a little dull? I don't know, but there just appears to be a great need among the broader public for nostalgia and for a different time, because that time felt more alive and colorful. I don't have hard data to support this. This is very much an anecdotal observation, but I do think it is true. There is something off generally about modern life that is making the past more palatable than the present.
There's a deeper psychological play at work too, as Luke explores why the world is suddenly obsessed with reliving these classic rivalries instead of moving on to the next generation.
You don't have to pay for pay-per-view. Yes, you have to have a Netflix subscription, but a lot of people do. It's the biggest streaming platform in the world. The incentive structure in place created by streaming platforms that are just looking for big name value, what will get people to tune in, what is a pairing that is available, just based on contractual availability and whatnot. And also, if we lower the barrier to entry to not exactly, but basically free, what will people watch? What I'm trying to tell you is, going from pay-per-view, where people were like, I wouldn't watch that, I'm not shelling out 50, 60, 70, 80, $100. And by the way, back in 2015, that was a $100 pay-per-view. That would be a huge barrier to entry. No one would go through with it. But you remove it, and all of a sudden, a lot of people are like, well, I mean, it's free on Netflix, why wouldn't I?
Luke emphasized that the game has completely changed now that Netflix is involved, removing the expensive pay-per-view barrier and making this a fight that literally everyone with a subscription will end up watching.
You know Mayweather didn't want this damn fight with Manny Pacquiao. Because if Mayweather really wanted this fight, he would have had this damn fight years ago when Manny Pacquiao was asking for a rematch. Mayweather has to do this fight because he need that bread. That's why. That's why. And it's funny when you have options. When you have options, yo, you can make your choice. When you doing great and you got money in the bank and you sitting pretty, yeah. You sitting pretty, 51 or 50-0. Isn't it great? But now, when you need them, you call on them. Mayweather didn't want this damn fight with Manny Pacquiao years ago, and now he wants this damn fight now. Because he needs money, that's why. All the rumors are true. It's a sad thing, but it is what it is.
Tim Bradley keeps it 100 here, arguing that this fight isn't about legacy or wanting the smoke, but rather a cold, hard financial necessity. He breaks down why Floyd is finally saying yes to a rematch he avoided for a decade, suggesting that the money team might be running low on exactly that. 1. It's a blunt look at the difference between fighting because you want to and fighting because you have to. It raises the question, is Floyd risking his perfect record just to balance the books?
If Mayweather didn't believe that he can beat Manny Pacquiao, he wouldn't be in the ring with him. Yeah, you know Mr. Sensitive. I love Mayweather, but let's keep it a buck. Oh, he's sensitive as hell. Not only is he sensitive, the man, he's insecure like hell. He's insecure, and he got to have a leg up on your ass. And he saw the Barrios fight, and Barrios just got smashed by Ryan Garcia. And then now, he like, oh, shit, well, Barrios is all right. I'm better than Barrios. Shit, even though I'm damn near 50, I'm still better than Barrios. My experience, my hand speed, I take care of myself. I had some exhibitions. I know I can still do this shit. That's what he thinking. He like, I still can do this shit. I can beat Manny Pacquiao. I saw what Barrios did to him.
Beyond the bank account, Bradley dives into the psychological game and why Floyd suddenly feels confident enough to step back in at 49. He points to how Mayweather likely analyzed Pacquiao's recent performance against Mario Barrios and calculated that his own elite IQ is still enough to win. It's a fascinating take on the insecurity and the cherry-picking mindset that critics often associate with Floyd's perfect record. Essentially, Floyd saw a weakness in Manny's age that he thinks he can exploit one last time.
Money right now for content is crazy. Netflix is paying for any type of great-ass content, man. If you seen the change with Netflix, man, I almost canceled my damn subscription with Netflix because I got sick and tired of seeing the same boring-ass shit on Netflix. And now they got this woman in place now, and she's seeking out, and she want the best of the best content. You know, they got podcasters and stuff all on Netflix now. I mean, it has grown crazy. So, you know, Jake Paul opened up the Netflix avenue. Yeah, he opened it up, and now, you know, you got old legends like Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, now they get their chance. Now they get their chance on Netflix, man, and making that gravy. See, I don't mind legends and stuff like that doing this type of stuff. This is great. This is fantastic. I love it. Yes, I love it. But damn it, it's too late. It's too late. I just keep it a buck. It's damn too late.
This segment explores how the landscape of sports media has shifted, with Netflix becoming the new home for massive nostalgia spectacles. Bradley credits the likes of Jake Paul for opening this door, but he also shares a bittersweet truth about these legends. While the platform and the payday are bigger than ever, he honestly questions if we are simply getting a masterpiece far too late in the game. He makes it clear that while the business side is genius, the sporting side might be past its expiration date.
Will I be watching it? Yeah, I think the world gonna be watching it too. I think everybody gonna be watching it. You know, however, Manny Pacquiao can't beat no damn Mayweather, man. Sorry to tell y'all, he can't beat no Mayweather, man. Nope. Not at all.
Despite all the drama and the years of waiting, Bradley gets down to the bottom line of who actually walks away with the win. He touches on a sentiment many boxing fans share. Even if we know the outcome, and even if we think they're past their prime, the world is still going to be glued to their screens on September 19th. It's the ultimate I can't look away moment for the sport. Even with all the criticism, Bradley admits that the magnetic pull of these two names is still too strong to ignore.
Well, one thing about Floyd is very strategic. I believe he's seen something in that Mario Barrios fight that he like, oh yeah, I'm good. Like I'm good. Actually, my personal opinion, I think Floyd can come back and beat a lot of these guys.
Like who?
I think he'll beat Barrios. I think he'll beat Ryan Garcia. I think his experience and his boxing IQ, and it seems like Floyd, it seemed like his body is still like, you know, fresh. He had 9 years off. And Floyd is one of them guys who stay in the gym. Don't let Floyd fool you. He stays in the gym. He's been doing this since he was a kid. It's impossible for him to stay away from the gym. So he stays in the gym, whether he's just playing around. Even if he stay mentally in boxing, that's still you staying in the gym. And those who box know what I'm talking about. Like just always watching and always thinking and always playing around. Floyd is a...
Lonnie B breaks down exactly why Floyd is so dangerous, even at 49 years old. He explains that Mayweather never truly left the sport because his mind is like a constant boxing computer. Even during his time away from professional matches, Floyd has been staying in gym shape and keeping his mental game sharp. Lonnie believes that this obsession with the craft is what allows him to still compete with much younger fighters. It is a deep dive into the discipline that separates a legend from a regular athlete. According to him, Floyd is simply built differently than anyone else in the game today.
So I believe he's seen something in the Pacquiao fight, and in the Mario Barrios Pacquiao fight, and said, "Oh, and the money they giving away now? Oh, let me go steal some more money." They said he have a money trouble. That remains to be seen. But I think he's seen something in these young fighters, and he see, nah, they can't beat me. They ain't this. Floyd come from the era of boxing when boxing was for real. Where if you was in the top 10, that means you was for real. Now whoever in the top 10 is whoever likes you. That's who's in the top 10 now. So Floyd's seeing like these guys getting all this money for all this for this little bit of work they do, and they ain't even really doing no work.
Lonnie looks at how Floyd views the current era of boxing compared to his own. He suggests that Mayweather sees the huge paydays today's fighters are getting and views it as easy money. By watching modern stars, Floyd likely realized that he could still dominate without having to work nearly as hard. Lonnie hints that the massive Netflix check was just too good for a businessman like Floyd to ignore. It is a perspective on how the sport has changed and how a veteran can still exploit it. He makes it clear that Floyd sees an opening to take over the industry once again.
And I also believe, what I heard he probably want to pay off some debt. I heard he might be in debt. So so I feel like Floyd, allegedly he's in debt. I feel like he's looking and saying, I can kill two birds with one stone. I can rack up some more money and beat some of these young guys, and they can say I'm even that much more greater.
Lonnie also touches on the rumors surrounding Floyd's finances and his drive for greatness. Lonnie explores the idea that Mayweather is using this Pacquiao rematch to solve two problems at once. Not only could he potentially clear up any lingering debts, but he also gets to silence his critics. By beating a legend like Manny at nearly 50, he would solidify his status as the greatest of all time. It is a look at the high-stakes gamble Floyd is making by stepping back into the spotlight. Lonnie frames it as a strategic move to secure both his bank account and his historic legacy.
Decision again. Pacquiao is Pacquiao. Pacquiao never gonna change. He gonna fight the way he fight. Floyd is a master counter puncher, a master pot shotter. He's just a master in the ring. So I don't think it'd be a problem for Floyd. You know, unless Pacquiao just catch him with a shot. Unless Pacquiao just catch him with a shot, and you know, get him out of there, which is very possible. But you know, at 50, I mean, I don't think nobody's lined up to see it. But I look at it like this, right? I don't think nobody is intrigued to see this fight, but it takes the narrative away that boxing is a young man's sport.
Lonnie gives his take on how the actual fight will play out and what it means for the sport. He expects a masterclass in counterpunching, but admits that a single lucky shot from Pacquiao could change everything. While some might argue the world is not asking for this, he sees a much bigger picture developing here. This fight challenges the long-held belief that boxing is strictly a game meant for the young and restless. It is a fascinating prediction on how these two legends will move inside the high-tech atmosphere of the Sphere. Even if it goes to a decision, odds the impact on boxing history will be felt forever. Meanwhile, Floyd isn't just letting his hands do the talking, he's making it known exactly where his head is at. He stated, "I still have what it takes to set more records in the sport of boxing, from my upcoming Mike Tyson event to my next professional fight afterwards." Floyd makes it crystal clear that he is not just returning for a quick paycheck or a simple exhibition. He believes his physical condition and boxing skills are still at a level where he can break historic records. By mentioning a professional fight after his event with Mike Tyson, he is signaling a full-scale comeback to the big leagues. This shows a level of confidence that most athletes lose long before they hit their late 40s. It is a bold statement to the entire world that his journey in the ring is far from over. He is essentially telling his rivals that the king is back to reclaim his throne. This sets a serious tone for the upcoming months as he prepares for the ultimate challenge. He stated, "No one will generate a bigger gate, have a larger global broadcast audience, and generate more money with each event than my events." Mayweather reminds everyone why his nickname is Money and why he remains the biggest draw in sports. He is boasting about his unique ability to pull in massive crowds and record-breaking television viewership numbers. Floyd understands the business side of boxing better than anyone else who has ever laced up a pair of gloves. He knows that his name alone is enough to create a financial earthquake in the entertainment industry. This isn't just about fighting for him, it is about maintaining his status as the primary rainmaker in the game. He is betting on the fact that the world will always stop to watch a Mayweather masterclass. It is a direct challenge to the younger generation of fighters who are chasing his commercial success. He stated, "And I plan to keep doing it with my global media partner, CSI Sports/Fight Sports." Floyd concludes his statement by highlighting the powerful corporate machinery supporting his massive return to the ring. By mentioning his global media partners, he shows that the infrastructure for these mega fights is already firmly in place. This indicates that his plans for the future are well organized and backed by serious industry heavyweights. It takes away any doubt that these events might just be rumors or social media hype. He is proving that he has the professional backing to broadcast his skills to every corner of the planet. This partnership ensures that his legacy continues to grow on a massive worldwide scale. It is the final piece of the puzzle that makes this comeback feel inevitable and unstoppable.
Netflix is doing it is not surprising at all. That's always been what they've been talking about doing. I think both fighters and everybody involved understands that it's one thing when everybody wanted to see the fight in 2015, he put it on pay-per-view and it's going to be a blockbuster, which it was. They charged $100 before the pay-per-view, the biggest price ever for a pay-per-view. And it set every conceivable record that you could think of in terms of gate, boxing, pay-per-view buys, overall revenue, the sponsorships, the merchandise. You pick a metric and it broke the record. That would not be the case now, 11 years down the road, since they first fought in 2015. So they needed somebody to put up big money, and it really fits the profile of what Netflix is trying to do. I don't view Netflix as like that they want to do regular boxing programming of like normal sort of title fights. They want to do big events, and whatever you want to say about it, maybe not for guys like me or you who are involved in doing boxing related stuff on a daily basis, but for the regular person that's scrolling through Netflix to see what's on a weekend night. They're going to look and say, "Oh, Mayweather, Pacquiao, I know those guys. They're as famous as any boxers in the world." And if it doesn't cost me any extra money and I'm just paying my normal subscription, yeah, I'll check it out. And it's going to do big numbers. That's why Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson did the numbers it did. And that's why
Dan Raphael explains that Netflix's entering the boxing world with this specific matchup makes perfect sense for their business model. While the original 2015 fight was a pay-per-view blockbuster that broke every record, a rematch 11 years later requires a different approach. Netflix isn't looking to host regular boxing matches, but instead wants massive global events that grab the average viewer's attention. For a regular person scrolling through their home screen, seeing names as famous as Mayweather and Pacquiao is an instant draw. Since there is no extra cost beyond a standard subscription, the barrier for entry is completely gone for millions. This strategy mirrors the success of previous celebrity matches and ensures that the viewership numbers will be massive.
you know, it'll be a big event, but how much of a fight it will be, who the heck knows? But I mean, to answer the question, I'm not like looking forward to it, but it's one of those things that, you know, you got to write about, you got to cover, and you got to, you know, be involved in, because it's still two of the greatest, most famous fighters of all time.
Dan touches on the reality of covering a fight between two aging legends in the modern era. He admits that while he might not be personally excited for the technical boxing side, the event is impossible to ignore, because these are two of the most famous athletes in history. The media and the public are naturally drawn to the spectacle. He questions how much of a real competitive fight we will actually see, yet acknowledges that the names alone carry weight. Even with the uncertainty of their current skill levels, their historical impact makes this a mandatory story for everyone. It is a moment where the fame of the fighters overshadows the actual sport of boxing itself. Ultimately, he highlights the internal conflict of covering a massive global event that might be more show than substance.
Off jump, you got to say Manny Pacquiao's the favorite, right? Yeah, you have to, because I saw Manny Pacquiao just fight Mario Barrios to a draw. Yeah, and I know Ryan Garcia whooped Mario Barrios. But what I'm saying is, I just saw Manny Pacquiao in a pro fight, right? I saw him against Keith one time after Floyd Mayweather retired, and he beat him. I saw Manny Pacquiao against Ugas. I've been seeing Manny Pacquiao literally every year in a fight. And I know I've seen Floyd Mayweather fight, but he was fighting Gotti the third and Deji. And Manny Pacquiao been in there. All right, even with their exhibition bouts, Manny Pacquiao is fighting a real boy.
Showbiz the Adult gives a refreshing take by labeling Manny Pacquiao as the early favorite in this massive rematch. He points out that while Floyd has been out of the professional ring for years, Manny has remained much more active against high-level opponents. By looking at Pacquiao's recent performance against Mario Barrios, it is clear that he still has the engine to compete in a real pro fight. Showbiz contrasts this with Floyd's recent run of exhibition matches against influencers and non-boxers. 1. He believes that being in the ring with actual professional contenders gives Manny a significant edge in timing and toughness. This perspective challenges the idea that Floyd's perfect record makes him the automatic winner this time around.
Floyd Mayweather is fighting a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. So things have been different. Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul, Manny Pacquiao, Mario Barrios, Ugas. You gotta go with Manny Pacquiao initially, but I would love to see how they're looking.
The focus shifts to the massive difference in the quality of opponents both men have faced recently. Showbiz highlights that while Floyd is preparing for an older Mike Tyson, Manny has been testing himself against hungry world-class fighters. This gap in competition levels could play a huge role when they finally step into the sphere on Netflix. He admits that while his initial pick is Pacquiao, he is still incredibly curious to see the physical condition of both men. The evolution of their careers since 2015 shows two very different paths toward this inevitable second meeting. It is a breakdown of why staying battle-tested in pro bouts matters more than just staying in the gym. Ultimately, he sets the stage for a fight where the underdog might actually be the one with the sharper tools.
Felt like that somebody wanted to call this fight off, and they were told you can't. It was too deep, too deep in the game, and there was a lot of money at stake. And obviously, Pacquiao got in there, but he wasn't throwing any punches. And Floyd Mayweather is a boring fighter. I mean, the presentation is flashy, but he's a defense-first fighter. There's nothing to, when you watch him, you go, oh, okay, he didn't get hit again, and he didn't get hit again. Tactically, he's brilliant, but not exciting. So, Hey, if you sign up for it, go get them. Must be it'll be September, so maybe it's a slow night for you, and you go, well, maybe I'll just buy this fight. Let me see these two guys.
Dan Patrick offers a more skeptical take on the matchup, focusing on the business pressure behind the scenes. He suggests that the sheer amount of money involved made this fight feel inevitable, even if the timing isn't perfect for the sport. Patrick notes that while Floyd is a tactical genius, his defensive style often makes for a less explosive viewing experience. He describes the reality of watching a Mayweather fight where the flash is in the entrance, but the ring work is purely about not getting hit. For many fans, this rematch might just be something to tune into on a quiet September night out of pure curiosity. It is a grounded reminder that not everyone expects a high-action war between these two aging legends.
On this, and I'm going to talk about the reality of the fight, but you can't deny one thing, that it's far better than Floyd and Mike Tyson, and it's far more interesting than Manny's comeback after Manny Pacquiao's announcement he was coming back to fight Ruslan Provodnikov, former world champion in his own right. At least that'll be somewhat competitive, but it was an exhibition fight, both guys to get ready for this one, and we have to talk about it. This is insane, yeah, but it's also par for the course in boxing. The fights you never thought we'd get to see again or at all.
The WADE concept provides a realistic perspective on why this matchup still holds so much weight in the current boxing landscape. Points out that while the situation is a bit crazy, it is actually much more interesting than the recent exhibitions both men have participated in. This fight represents a trend in boxing where matchups we thought were gone forever are suddenly becoming a reality again. It is a sign of the times where nostalgia and big names are driving the sport in a brand new direction. Even if the timing feels late, the pure curiosity of seeing these two legends share a ring again is undeniable. And he frames it as an insane yet predictable turn of events for anyone who follows the business of combat sports today.
One, it's Mayweather and Pacquiao, the biggest fight that's ever happened in combat sports. It wasn't at their best. We'll talk about how I think this version's gonna go, but what was it, 4.2 million pay-per-view buys, the biggest fight we thought we'd ever see, and it may still be that, but this is gonna do numbers as well, no doubt about it. But the reason this fight is at least more interesting to me now than either of their exhibitions, and yeah, I'm throwing away how the first fight went, and that they were past their prime in that one, and that I may be getting the wool pulled over my eyes for what we actually might see. But let's be honest though, Floyd's 49, Manny's 47. We know what we're gonna get. They're not gonna be in their prime. We don't expect them to be in their primes. But Manny Pacquiao just came off a world title fight where I thought he beat Mario Barrios. I thought he beat him. Now granted, it was a draw, and we just saw Mario Barrios get absolutely skunked by Ryan Garcia. It's showing us that, one, like I've said, Mario Barrios is one of the worst world champions in boxing, or he was. Again, that's no offense to Mario, it's just the reality is he was not one of the stronger champions.
The WADE concept reminds us of the record-breaking numbers their first encounter generated and predicts that this sequel will still pull in a massive audience. While both fighters are clearly well past their athletic primes, Manny's recent performance against a world champion gives him a bit more momentum. There is an honest admission that fans might be getting caught up in the hype, but the draw of these names remains incredibly powerful. The context of their recent bouts, including the draw against Mario Barrios, adds a layer of competitive intrigue that a standard exhibition lacks. It is a look at the reality of aging legends trying to prove they still have a spark left for one last dance. But what do you think about this whole situation? Do you believe Floyd is still the defensive master we saw a decade ago, or has time finally caught up to his reflexes? Is Manny Pacquiao actually the favorite here because he has stayed more active against real professional competition? Does the fact that it is on Netflix make you more likely to tune in? Do you think these legends should have stayed retired? We want to hear your side of the story and who you are picking to win on September 19th. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. We love hearing your predictions and seeing the debate between Team Money and Team Pac-Man. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tune in for more videos like this.